Yes, yes, for sure. And last match we broadcast, it was a match that was between two teams that were full of players from pretty much the same region but different countries. Today, we are going up against the German Pride teams here with Lunar Horizon versus Upyourscrim, which is a pretty interesting name, if I say so myself. One of them is named after just the scrimming, and the other one is named after a map that isn't even in the game anymore. So I'm excited to see, you know, uh, do they practice on Lunar Horizon? This is something that I want to know. Probably not. Yeah, for sure. We could see a lot of rush coming out on Ilios as well, but you always every time you pick that rush composition, you always have to remember there's the threat, the lurking of the wrecking ball composition right around the corner. They pull out the wrecking ball and they pull out that dreaded Zenyatta with his Discord orb that just fills you with nightmares of going up against crack flex support players, and then they bring out a Pharah or an Echo, and it just puts the fear of God into you. So Rush is still definitely viable, but personally, I still believe that the Wrecking Ball composition is still superior in a lot of different ways. Yeah, and Ilios is one of those maps that has those wide open areas, lots of different sight lines and stuff like that. So perfect places for snipers and hit scans to prowl about. Lots of tracer somber spots as well. So expect to see a lot of that. But if we are going for more of the rush as well, then I would expect to see a lot of Cassidy, especially since he got that recent buff. It's a bit of a small change, the fact that he can now roll in midair, but it's still pretty helpful against some dive opponents like Doomfist and Tracer as well. What do you mean? It makes a lot of sense. Like he like no, no, because you know what happens is that you got to read the comics. In the comics, Cassidy actually learns how to become an airbender, and he actually manipulates the air pressure underneath his feet.
Ready for battle.
We have a we have a robot that can literally transform into another robot in this game, and people are complaining about Cassidy being able to fly, soar through the air. Let him do that. All power, more power to him.
5,
But as we
4,
see these teams
3,
on the screen, let's
2,
actually talk about the game in
1.
front of us. Looks
Round
like
1.
both of them are going to go
Capture.
with that wrecking ball composition. It's actually going to be the battle of the Echo versus the Pharah here. Never mind, we're going to pause a little bit. Just get a nice, beautiful view of the skyline. Never mind, the skyline is gone. All right, everybody panic. The Overwatch is breaking before our very eyes here. Oh, we're gonna be going in Lighthouse this time. Alright, well, we got a little bit of the sort of their composition of choice, as you will. Both teams seeming to want to run that Wrecking Ball composition. And I'm just gonna go ahead and take the reins here for a bit while they work on some mic issues. While Lunar Horizon, oh my gosh, if they actually come out with this composition right now, with the ball and the hog, I mean, Roadhog isn't too terrible, especially on this point with the well in the middle. So if they do come out with this, it would be so amazing. Yes, Hatsu is fulfilling my dreams. Oh, thank you very much for that. Alright, but it is going to be, once again, the battle of the Pharah versus the Echo.
I will not waste this opportunity.
Welcome back.
The objective is
Never mind, it's not working. Alright, we're gonna continue to have me on the microphone here as well. Coffee's actually gonna get that pick onto the move here, so that's gonna be the Wrecking Ball down here. I'm trying to find a little bit of direct hits on either the Pharah, sorry, the Echo, or Mercy. Unfortunately not able to. Hatsu goes down, but the res is available to do that hook. Now back online, back on the Wrecking Ball. Little fast hamster feet, running back to the point. Habit goes down as well, and Upyourscrim is actually contesting this very well here. Lunar Horizon pretty good job though of keeping their tanks alive. The Lucio Mercy backline for both of these teams is actually dividends as well, but Kazon is going a little bit crazy, a little bit nuts on this Tracer play, and we will see the flip for Lunar Horizon. Dirty Boy is so low.
Tech is so cute today, you know? Alright, so, oh, they can hear me now. Perfect. Alright, don't even worry about the audio issues.
My gosh.
Yeah, but that was a really interesting fight,
Christmas
Rudy.
Miracle.
Yeah, you know, thank you so much for taking that over while, you know, the Germans tried to take me out because I've got differing opinions on how this fight's gonna go. But look, now they're looking to try to find some burst damage out. Unfortunately, Coffee's going to fall down extremely early. Though the whole hog is going to allow some space to be made, it seems Hatsu is immediately going to be melted. It's not looking into their favor. Lunar Horizon continue to move forward, though this res comes out for Moon. They don't really have the units to go in. It's going to be one big reset.
Yeah, Tommy's trying desperately over on this car on the right-hand side. Try to find some value, and he will actually
adaptive circuits engaged.
Dirty Boy. Poppy versus here is going to look to even things out.
Yeah, look, they're having to play very carefully, especially because this bomb comes out. Upyourscrim struggling to find any room out. Tommy is going to be falling down eventually, as we see them just slam down and continue to move forward. No care in the world. Once again, a Lunar Horizon. They're perfectly chill.
Kazon is going absolutely crazy on this Tracer. It seems that Upyourscrim is just not able to deal with his constant pressure and the fact that you have two very tanks obviously, but like Roadhog is much more self-reliant than Diva naturally is, and means that the Habit on the other side is kind of at a disadvantage here, and Coffee gets another move.
That's absolutely phenomenal. There is now no Wrecking Ball putting in the pressure. Habit has to use the bomb combined with the sound barrier just to make that space and to reconvene in the fight. Really good trade onto the Mercy as they now have a nice opening. Though the pressure is trying to be put onto Iroh, it seems they are going to be losing their life in the scuffle. Maybe a final opportune moment to where the Tracer 1v1 is going to be punished, falling off the map. Even getting the melee, at least that goes to your pulse bomb ult charge. Now your Scrim, they're going to be able to bring it back just barely and have at least one more fight or an infinite amount of fights to be able to bring this back.
Yeah, you're kind of on the back burner here as well. The fact that you have a couple of ultimates to deal with on the side of Lunar Horizon, this minefield could be a bit of a struggle, but we'll see if Lunar Horizon decides to commit here or if they decide to try to build up a little bit more ultimate since they have the time.
Oh, but that clip helps not only secure the pulse bomb, but is a very early pick. Though the trade does manage to have it, losing off your Mercy is the biggest part of this fight. Lunar wants to be able to bring this back, so the main goal is to just poke out, though that stick helps to finish off the Roadhog. Now it's once again going back into a staggered scenario. Nothing that you could do besides just be happy those ultimates were committed.
Yes, sirree, and you have another ultimate committed as well as Kazon tries to shift the tides here as well, but unfortunately will not find anything, and Coffee going down here is going to mean just a little bit more staggering. This is giving Upyourscrim plenty of time to just build up their ultimates as well for this, final one or two team fights here.
Yeah, they're having to do their best when it comes to just making that space. Lowering the ult economy is very much what we're looking for, and we even see Elo having to use the Falcon just to live for a little longer. It's an even trade, but what doesn't help is Dirty Boy being so dangerously low, not able to escape. Now,
please copy the Roadhog.
The rest on to the Tracer. Look, we don't know who everything's up to copy on, but what's more important, the pulse bomb goes through, the Mercy split off for a tiny second, but Lunar have the picks, they have the advantage, the whole all coming out, forcing everybody off the point. Now the only person
he copied the Roadhog
is Evo, but you're not going to be able to win this fight when you're being pressured off. Luckily though, look at this Sound Meteor goes in on to the point, giving them a lot more sustain. The point still in favor of Upyourscrim. They continue to fight this out as Sound Meteor for Lunar keeps them up for a little bit longer. Swaps go in. They're going to be able to touch this point incredibly fast. Having throws that bomb sky high, trying to force them off for a split second as Coffee returns back onto the point. But there's nothing they can do. Not able to solidify a pick, rather losing two absolutely immediately. The big on the D.Va is helpful, but it's not really all they need. They need a lot more. Trying to even place out anybody who enters onto that point is going to hit. Most likely, most definitely gonna die, but nobody really walks into it. Dirty may manage to kill Evo with their own pulse bomb, but
it was
not
worth
enough as they managed to bring it back, and they're gonna take the lead when it comes to the Ilios.
Yeah, the Echo switch from Tomi actually helping them out in the end right there, as you're able to deal a lot more damage to the Roadhog that was causing them so much trouble in the first place, since you're able to just beam him down with the dreaded E-beam ability. And now once again back on Lighthouse here, and we will be seeing similar team compositions to what we saw in the let's call it the scuffed beginnings that we shall not remember. But Tomi is going to be sticking onto this Echo, as it seems to be working for them.
Having the ability to just survive is something that I think Iroh is continuing to show as well. Very much these Sky compositions seem to be in both teams' favoritism, as they're already looking to take the scouting route. It's very much a slow ensemble, and it's just more a poke. The Echoes are the ones looking to build up that ult charge, and neither side truly having and push forward. We are more looking at the fact that Dirty Boy gets melted down, and yet Moon trades in immediately. The bigger pick goes onto the side of Scrim as they take out the Ana, force the res, and now they're going to be able to re-engage without a care in the world. Even capture of the point has to be contested for a little bit longer. And Scrim still having the advantage. Iroh going down dangerously low, able to just barely make it out in the fights on the point. No recall, you're absolutely out of here. Not going to be able to survive as Dirty Boy doing their best to stall this out for as long as possible, but not able to touch the point. They lose it, and they lose Dirty Boy, meaning that this is just one big soft reset as they try to escape with their lives.
Yes, sir. I mean, Kazon going down without the blink, unfortunately, just uses cooldowns a bit too aggressively there. Did not work out for him. Oh my gosh, the pulse bomb committed onto Iroh. He wants to bring this back. He wants to learn. He has to learn from his mistakes.
Really good pulse bomb stopping that Mercy. Now they have to go into the fight at a big disadvantage. Moon is also being focused out by the Tracer. meaning you just don't have enough room to go in. They got the trade on the right side that you can look out for. But look at this, Evo just trying to touch the point, absolutely gets murked. And even the Tracer now trading out. They're having to play this ensemble. Mind you, on the point, stopping anyone from truly contesting. Hatsu has to play dangerously careful. They've already lost their mech. That bomb just so can contest onto it is beautiful. But you get melted down by the Tracer. You have no room to live. Now he gets used onto the point. Gosh, still wants to try to fight this off for as long as possible. Keep in mind, and well, you have that security. There is nothing that Scrim can do to recontest. You got the copy of the baby. Eventually down and Washington. Fine. Iroh's really the last person there focused on here. Echo have to be able to fight it. Primarily held down anybody for the last person there. They're almost moved off the map and trying to figure them out. Going back off the point, using the copy bomb. Absolute darkness to stay up. One long staggered fight as Lunar Horizon. They managed to get the 2K out with the bomb. That's what you're looking for. But they don't have a contest on this point. They're still at a major disadvantage. Luckily, able to recall from the pulse bomb is going to benefit as we continue to see Dirty Boy looping around, looking to be as annoying as possible. Eventually, the Ana is going to fall. Maybe a sign for Scrim. Finally finding that momentum to be able to come back. Though the res is enabled and viable. Onto Dirty Boy, making it null in the strongest factor. It's finally seems Scrim are losing that momentum as they just continue to move back inside this poke fight.
Yeah, don't you just love it when your play-by-play gets to just carry the cast for you? You don't have to do anything for you, but this fight is still going on because ultimates are just being committed. There's just so much chaos going on. Eventually, one of these teams is going to find some amount of footing, but Moon is still here. He's still pressuring. He puts the mine on point, but it's 94% for Lunar Horizon. The point never flipped for Upyourscrim, and they are just scrambling to get to point, and they will not do so. Honestly, that was just at the beginning of that team fight was, you know, Upyourscrim scrambling to get onto point after they get a couple of picks. They commit all their ultimates, and then this allows for Lunar Horizon to come back into it with all of their ultimates that are enabling them to come back onto point as well. And then from there, it just devolves into chaos. Eventually, Lunar Horizon gets it. And user, have you had the appropriate amount of time to breathe after that?
Oh, I've had more than enough time. The fight was going on.
Make
so
sure you
long.
get some oxygen into your, more into your bloodstream. It helps.
Yeah. You know, that's what Demon Slayer says. You know, just breathe better.
Yeah, you just gotta breathe, brother, and you'll be able to become a superhero. Lunar Horizon actually gonna go for the 6-man here.
Ooh, very interesting. Looking to get the hack onto the Wrecking Ball, control over the Mega Health Pack is a viable strategy. Moon already down to half health, has to just disengage while the 6-man play behind a shrine. They're perfectly fine. They're more waiting for the enemies to set themselves up for the most unoptimal position. As K looks for this hack, most likely onto the Diva, has to get pressured out by the Wrecking Ball, just barely escapes, so they trade. They manage to find out the Widowmaker. The Reaper gets really big pick to lose as Dirty Boy backs up from the fight. They don't have their main tank. They all push forward while the rest of them, and they're being punished for it. Losing out their Diva, everyone on the side of Scrim punishing them to the highest degree, melting them down, and well, they're gonna be feeling a little satisfied.
They got
even
some
if
picks
Horizon,
though, Moon?
Yeah, even if Horizon's able to capture the point and we see the Sombra on there looking to build up that ult charge for as long as possible, it's not really gonna work out too well.
That was insane. Moon putting on his little carry boots with the Wrecking Ball, little paws or whatever the heck he has in there, little legs on the ball as well. And Evo putting in good amount of pressure on this Widowmaker as well, allows kind of for that distraction. Even if he's not like getting kills, he's still putting pressure on the enemy team. They have to focus him down at least a little bit.
A little bit of unfortunate. In fact, Evo's on the Widowmaker, not being able to stay secure. It's immediately dived on. The fight is now on the point. The mines stop anybody from truly engaging and working back as a unit to get not only the mine kill, but the bomb, making this go back into their favor. However, we do see Tommy still contesting onto the point. Copy places off for Diva, stops the hack perfectly, and now you've got two giant demons on the point. Haven's already taken out two. Can't even win this fight. The Nano was invested. They are too strong.
Lunar Horizon, that was a great kind of staggering onto the point there, because it actually took up a lot of ultimates from Upyourscrim. They committed the copy, the tracer bomb, and the nano to just try to finish off the rest of Lunar Horizon, and now you're going up against an EMP, Coalescence B. You're going up against everything but the kitchen sink.
A beautiful EMP though. Iroh's managing to get the valve out before it lands perfect. So they're still fine. And the hack does go on to move, but they lose out their Sombra. The whole economy in the favor of Horizon. They still need to make something happen out of it, putting that pressure on Kiana, getting the most kills they have ever had in any game. Sneaking the monkey and continuing to push forward. Bomb finds nothing as they just have to space out. Eventually we are going to be seeing the picks go in for Horizon far. Get any kind of damage in, no copy. Down here up for a considerable amount of time. And even if Moon comes back in, doesn't have enough time to place the mines. We're looking at a similar scenario as before, but will Scrim be able to bring it back from the holds?
Honestly, they might. I mean, Lunar Horizon had to commit a lot there in order to even secure that win. The target tracking or the focus fire wasn't quite strong enough to be able to finish it off to where you had at least 2 ultimates left over, but people will have this coalescence very soon, and with the primal they can make something work here, but you're going to get against a lot of stuff here.
You're having to go up against a Pharah who's being able to pick out your warrior before the coalescence is built, then the pulse bomb landing onto your Diva. This does not help, though this primal was absolutely wonderful. All about the clean at this moment, because Upyourscrim have the advantage. They have the barrage, and they're just looking to take you out. The only person being left is going to be the Moira and Tracer. Heavenly ult. There's a point to use it, and it's now the barrage. LOSs, you can walk into it, you get melted, and Upyourscrim. They'll take the lead in this series by winning on Ilios.
Yes, sir. Very close map to start off with. It might be indicative of a very close series as well. It'll be really interesting. It really did feel like the momentum between both of these teams was always on. Okay, well, we don't talk about that clip for Kazon's sake. We'll just go ahead and everybody just forget, wipe it from your memory. It didn't happen. Kazon is still a really good tracer player. He's really good.
One of those uh-oh moments that, like, you always tell yourself, don't do when we get into a match, and unfortunately it lands. They have nothing.
Not only do they capture it in real time on the observer's feed, but it also gets captured in the play of the game, which is not ideal.
Yeah, so let's take a second to look at these tracer statistics, though. There is a significant amount of time difference. 2 minutes is a lot in Overwatch, but I still want to point out how Evo has done so much work onto that tracer. 25 to 16 E-limb, 14k to 7k, and weapon accuracy is only a little bit different. That is massive.
Yeah, 14k versus 7k. That's actually kind of insane. Evo definitely woke up for those last 2 maps on Ilios, while Kazon was kind of going crazy in the first round as well. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how these tracer players compare going forward, especially as we go to new maps here. We are going to be going to a hybrid. Don't worry, I got the notes, and they're right this time. They're right this time, because apparently I have to not read what's in the rule book. I have to just read what people are telling me here, and it does look like we have a map pick. It's going to be Le Hollywood. We're leaving Europe. We're going to America, home of the free or whatever.
Well, you know, I'd hit him with the English accent, but comparably, the fact that, you know, we're casting over the
No, we're
European
Americans. We don't
area.
have accents.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're casting over the Europeans, so technically, you know, this is the American accent. I think that's the most interesting part.
Where are the odd ones out here, user?
I try to hit them with the Spanish, but no como estás, you know, mi amigo?
No,
yeah.
that was yesterday. You should have brought that out yesterday when we were
No,
casting for the Iberia
they would know
region.
they would know what I said, and I don't know what I'm saying.
Okay.
What I do know is that Hollywood of all maps is a very scary. It's a very scary hybrid point. It's not as popular as something like King's Row, nor is it as kind of scrim ran as Eichenwald. You know.
What do you mean by scary?
In the sense that, think about this, how often do you play Hollywood in scrims? There's a reason why people call it Scrims Row, because it is played continuously, and what makes it so scary is that it fits so many different opinions on what is the most dominant meta on that map. You have double shield, you have bubble, you have so many opportunities, and unless you practice and you're used to kind of going on it, I think you build a room and an atmosphere of, what do we do? What is it that we're kind of walking out on?
Yeah, that is true. I don't think I've ever played Hollywood in a scrim. It's always a map that I feel woefully underprepared for. You're speaking to the masses here, user. I like it.
Yeah, you know, it's just something that a lot of teams, I don't think, truly pay enough attention to. Is that map picks are by far one of the biggest things in Overwatch. More including on the fact that, you know, you don't always scrim every map, so you're going into this at a very big disadvantage. So we're gonna just have to hope that a strategy is built. Though on the bright side, I still feel both the compositions that we saw on first map, they're gonna translate very close over.
Yeah, especially on the second point here, as you can see that we're currently on. It's just high ground galore right here, and definitely for Upyourscrim, it looks like they are going with the tried and true, the classic. Gonna be swapping out that D.Va for a Sigma, however, so a little more defense towards their backline here. It's gonna help their Zenyatta stay alive longer. Also means an extra perch area for their Ashe to set up for as well. Iroh's gonna be having a bit of a time. You're probably gonna stick on the Pharah mostly. Lunar Horizon, are they gonna stick with this dive composition? It looks like they are.
You know, I'm not really too surprised.
I think this could be very powerful against the backline that Upyourscrim has right now, with just like the Soul Zenyatta.
Hey, we'll just have to see a traditional dive versus the traditional wrecking ball strategy, both having their ups and hurt. The high ground now being controlled by Horizon, a beautiful strategy. We just see everybody else on the side of Scrim looking to take their space, putting in as much poke as possible. So the Dynamite, I feel, is going to be that bigger part of the fight. Again, you get hit, the anti-land onto Moon. Just barely able to escape, but look at this. Tommy's able to find out the Ana. It's an equal trade on both sides. We're looking to see who can secure it further as the Ashe gets focused on the high ground. Happy gets focused out of life. It does seem Horizon are continuing to push forward. Losing out the monkey is going to hurt. They no longer have that main tank to dive in, especially the mech, and it seems that Scrim, this is what they were relying on. The enemy team to get a little cocky, take out the back line, and then they go after your front line. The Brigida or Soul managed to just barely find a tick, but it's not really going to be able to live for too much longer. Can't go out in the open. Thankfully, giving more than enough time for the rest of the team to continue in. The problem is that Scrim, they've returned faster.
Yeah, they returned faster, and the whole time Tommy was just sitting there up on the roof uncontested. There's not really anybody on Lunar who is going to be like traditionally the Pharah picker, you know what I mean? Like, Tracer's not going to be able to get her, Ana's too busy healing to be able to get the Pharah. There's nobody really to like contest them, especially now that they have this barrage as well. It's going to be really difficult. It's going to be all on Hatsu here.
Yeah, but the mines are more interesting. You see, as it stops anybody from moving in. Yet, Dirty Boy getting the nano, manages to take out two, then dive on top of the high ground, focusing down the Ashe with the Tracer. The barrage just has to melt them down, but you lose your life in the crossfire, not able to help your own Ashe. The Bob at least is going to be able to place on that point. The problem is going to be able to recontest with the pump stick onto Sigma. Just barely going to be managing to live, but two are dangerously low. And look at that clip!
Oh my
insane
goodness.
mechanics. to help secure this fight of the contest. Now we see the farmers doing the best Iroh immediately melted down. They're doing so much when it comes to this fight that even Lunar has to disengage to get the mega health back. It's one tick and no touch. That's what I call a capture.
It's like we're back in 2018 again, and we're seeing the, you know, the Tracer, Genji, dive extraordinaire, just beautiful mechanics on both of these DPS players here. Well, Evo gets taken out by Evo. I'm not sure where Evo was situated there, or Evo takes out Evo. Kind of awkward there.
It's been a difficult society, day now.
Difficult society, yes, it has been, for sure.
I feel more bad for Hatu. Getting down, trying to back, but barely able to pull out. Lunar no longer having their Tracer, needs to use that bomb. Looking for the first pick, a trade. They do get some folks onto the wrecking ball. It doesn't stop from using the mines once awake, splitting them up. The Primal is going to be able to break them for a little bit. The primary use is to set themselves up for this Nano Blade. Lunar have it open. The question is, will they use it?
They gotta wait for Genji's cooldowns to come back online, and I'm sure he'll be there, but he's getting focused down so hard right now, it's gonna be difficult for him. Okay, finally he has high ground. It's gonna come any minute now.
But they lose
any minute now.
There's very little follow up. Now they're having to use their resources such as the rally to keep themselves up from the critical block. It just does not work out. The pressure coming from Scrim has been absolutely oppressive, and there's just nothing you can do when Moon is walking into your back line.
Yeah, they're doing a very good job of making sure that Lunar Horizon don't even get the chance to take the elevator up. They are being very aggressive here, and if you don't have the right setup, you're not going to be able to take the full advantage of this Genji Nano Blade. They really are struggling to even try to set it up here.
They're having to be extremely careful, moving as a unit, and losing that sleep from the mines. This place, they can no longer go the way they wanted to go. They missed by that Iroh with the pulse bomb. They lost their own Tracer. This does set up for the Dragon Blade, but they know a Transcendence is there, stopping from any form of engagement. So much time being burned off trying to make an engagement, and they've already lost very great in that scuffle. It's not working well with Lunar Horizon's own strategy.
Yeah, I don't want to say that this is an AKM blade because he's had a blade for a while now. He just hasn't been able to use it. But yeah, I mean, at this point, AKM hold, yeah, let's go with that here. Upyourscrim is just doing a very good job of protecting their back line, and the Sigma is putting in so much work here while the DPS and Moon are just contesting in the front line. They've got an unbreakable hold here. It's going to take a miracle from this Nano Blade. Eventually it'll come. Actually, are they using it now? Nope, not anymore.
It falls to the honor. You can't even use it anymore. I feel so bad. They have less than it opens off the board and their foot falls off the point. It's an unfortunate fact that Tomy is making sure you cannot play the game.
Yeah, Tommy's showing the new Genji that came out recently. Their name is Echo, and they basically do Genji's job, but like 100% better most of the time. Still waiting on this Nano. I mean, you know, Christian's just putting in work here. He just hasn't been able to have the appropriate amount of setup here. Finally, I mean, early rally, because they know that it's coming at some point here.
But look, the bomb is what makes the difference, Rudy. It's the bomb, able to get the 2K, finding out the Zenyatta. The mines maybe looking to slow them down, but not in the optimal position. They now have more than enough to overcome and time to be able to invest their ulti push into the second round. We already see them moving forward, still finding out the end. It's not what you want on the side of Horizon.
I don't think it does.
You see the rally being able to sustain them for a little bit longer, but it's just not working in their favor. Havoc, how are you getting these kills? Evo, you're walking into the backline, focusing out the Ana. Now you can't focus on her team is losing more and more. The Transcendence movement and the Port Bailey to death. That's absolutely fully able to see the blade come in, and well, it's done what you thought it would. Absolutely nothing, and that's an unfortunate fact because they get held on second point.
Yeah, quickly coming back after losing both of their backline members to just a random bomb that was sent from the heavens from Hatsu. Unfortunately, not able to take a hold of the situation there. Tomi just continues to rain down fire from his seat, from his high ground position on the Echo there. The naked blade at the end of that is just icing on the cake. And I will say, as a support player who's put a lot of hours into playing like Ana and Baptiste, it fills my heart with a little bit of joy every time I see a Genji blade go horribly wrong. Just the cursed memories come flooding back to me, and it's like therapy.
I respect that. For me, I definitely feel it's the over-reliance on that one win condition to push forward. Upyourscrim managed to punish it every single time, and you know that's absolutely amazing. I'd say let's show a replay, but we don't have that ability.
It wasn't even
right
just
now.
the fact that they weren't able to take advantage of the win condition, is that they weren't able to set up to take advantage of the win condition, if that makes sense. Like, they were thwarted at every single opportunity that they had it. It was just a wonder to watch, and it looks like Upyourscrim feeling very comfortable with the Wrecking Balls. They will continue to run the composition. This time Tomi once again back on the Pharah here.
I don't know why you said it in plural like that.
I don't know why either. I was hoping you would just ignore it and we'd go on with our lives.
Because I wouldn't. I'm more focused on the fact that Zenyatta and Iroh fall down, forcing a disengagement. This is a big problem for Upyourscrim, not only listening to you attempting to speak proper English, but rather having to break through this small chokehold.
This is European Expanse. English isn't required here. It's like secondary. But yeah, further on your point there, Lunar Horizon once again coming out with the dive composition means they're going to be going after their very weak backline a lot of the time. So great initiation from them. They have to be very aggressive here to make sure that Linux isn't in a position where he can get value. And you could also go after Moon as well.
Ooh, what a clip! Helps the fact that Moon's not there. Habit now has the space to be able to touch onto the point, put pressure onto the D.Va. Flux dangerously close. It just seems Lunar. Once it comes out to the DPS fighting, they aren't really able to secure these picks. Even having to back out to hopefully have the big sacrificing 2 ticks. Tracer now onto the point. They lost Evo, so nobody's able to go inside the backline, putting pressure. And it goes out onto the monkey, allowing this engagement. But they have the brig and they're building up to the Transcendence. And there's not really anything that you can try to stop them with. So Habit, this big Flux doesn't manage to take out from Baby D.Va. Dangerously close though. Lose your life in the end. This is all about seeing who's going to last as long as Dirty Boy doing the best to make sure that they are the ones who do so. Get out onto the castle. Rally being moved by our Transcendence. Fine. Plays onto the point. Looking to make up the mess of this contest. They are able to get the sweep when it comes to focus fire. And well, you can touch for as long as you want. But there is nothing you can do when they win it.
Yeah, Primal from Dirty Boy actually manages to delay the capture of the point for just a little bit, but thankfully both the Mines and the Transcendence were there to help them clean up the rest of that point. And this also means that they got early high ground advantage. They've got early enough. They were the first ones to get onto the building, so they're not going to be pressured out very easily as here. And Moon goes down, but they can come back from this. But the bomb catches out Habit.
Absolutely beautiful bomb and an even more beautiful rock trying to slow it down, but I guess you can't stop Destiny as they're going to be set up onto the high ground. Moon can do as much as they want to try to force them off and be as annoying, but just as it was difficult for Horizon to move in, it's similar to Scrim.
Yeah, Scrim had the right idea there. Unfortunately, Lunar Horizon just with the perfect response there, and now they have control of this first building. But Kazan is so weak because they just weren't able to hide behind the brig shielding, and now they're up, down on the low ground, kind of exposed.
The pulse bomb manages to finish off Iroh. Coffee uses the rally. This is an amazing ability to help them push forward. They lose Cassidy. It's equal trades on both sides. Xiaomi using the copy on the D.Va. Does make this a little bit more uneven. However, it gets broken. Doesn't even matter. This is very close, around 15 meters or so, to being captured, and Scrim gets closer and closer per fight.
Yeah, they were so focused on getting high ground advantage that they didn't really contest the cart, and now it's just very, very close. Versich goes down here, and it's going to be very close here. Transcendence comes out as well.
A very beautiful trans, being able to not only save Tommy, but keep themselves alive with the Tracer going down. We see Dirty Boy on top of the high ground, looking to be as annoying as possible, while Moon is just doing their best to push the payload. However, you forgot about the support line, who have stuns and are just absolutely crushing you. Even the body block is absolutely rude, because, yes, you have control. You use the Gravitic Flux, but you have to play very carefully. Slamming down, you get slept afterwards, but it doesn't stop as you see the Ana dying out habit, though. Stuck in the backline, is it going to be able to escape? Scrim still finding room to be able to punish it. Moves forward, takes out Cassidy, Diva, Tracer, last people on the point. It's all going to go into a stall. We're going to be seeing them run out just to do their best. We see Lucio, however, Johnny Cruz has a gig. The phone called, and you're not going to be able to really get what you want, as we see Upyourscrim manage to take Hollywood, putting us at match point.
Yeah, match point indeed. Upyourscrim with that, very slim win on the first map, coming back with a dominant win. Well, not dominant per se, but it was a pretty good showing on their parts, just piloting like I said, the Wrecking Ball composition reigns supreme above all else. And, it's still very true, even after all the changes to the Rush heroes like Reinhardt and Cassidy as well. I mean, you cannot deny the power of a Wrecking Ball Zenyatta combination, and I think that Moon and Linux, piloted those heroes to near perfection.
I definitely will give you that sentiment. I definitely have to agree with that idea. I feel the Wrecking Ball composition is just really strong, and especially for a team who is showing just convincing levels of moving forward, it's absolutely impressive. Like, let us just show you the statistics. Okay, Wrecking Ball, this is around what you should be getting. And it's absolutely beautiful. It's I would consider the average of what we would see for a Wrecking Ball, but 18 eliminations, 8k damage, 6 ultimates used. That is a lot. That's three mines, maybe on both attack and defense. You're getting a lot of value.
Yeah, and for rounds that didn't really last all that long either as well, only making it halfway through second point. Yeah, Moon's definitely, even though he is dying a lot first time, it's kind of your job as the Wrecking Ball to get in there, make space, and die if necessary, because you could just come back from respawn really quickly. But speaking of respawning, looks like we do need to respawn a little bit of energy back into the broadcast. Actually, are we going to break? Are we going to break?
Rudy, see my hand, Rudy?
Oh yeah, what's that?
See my hand? This
What's that?
This is the hand of shame, and I'm gonna slap you with it.
I saw the. Okay, well, go ahead. We're going to go ahead, go to a quick break, which is what I was originally going to say, and it was going to be really clever. Let's go ahead and pretend that happened. Quick break, everybody.
Oh, you have your way, and it's making me weaken. You and your stardust, walking like that. It's really getting too much, but I can't pull back. Though I try to resist, I can't.
Hello everybody, hoping that you enjoyed that quick break, gave us a moment just to breathe, take a second. You know, not everyone has a good area to, sleep. So I think it's very nice that we took that moment to rest up, bring back our energy, and get excited because We're on match point right now. Upyourscrim up 2-0 against Lunar Horizon, and I'm still your host, using Monster Intel here, joined by Mr. Rudy TG. And I've got to say, you know, we've had this moment of the break. We know the next map pick. Rudy, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I see the next map in front of me right now, and before I reveal it, I'm gonna go ahead and double check all of my sources to make sure that the information that I have is correct and factual and good. So give me like 2 seconds.
Trust, Rudy.
Let me cross the wires here. Okay, yeah, we're all good here. So it is going to be Watchpoint Gibraltar. That is the next map, and potentially the last map as well. And this is a map that obviously has a lot of monkey shenanigans going on within it, because dive and monkey compositions seem to be the most prevalent type of composition on this map. But also the Wrecking Ball, which is what Upyourscrim has been running this entire time, is also very viable on this map as well. So potentially we could see another instance of the Wrecking Ball versus the monkey composition, which didn't end too well for Lunar Horizon on Hollywood at the very least.
You know, could definitely feel that. Watchpoint Gibraltar, it's going to be a very interesting map, especially because it's going back into that meta that, you know, we discussed about earlier, of map point meta, especially something on like Hollywood. We've seen what composition these teams like to run. We talked about it early on in kind of map 1, that they both favor very fast compositions. So, you know, I wouldn't be too surprised if we just see that Wrecking Ball come out again and it works as well as it did before. I think Gibraltar is one of those escort maps. I think all escort maps have it, but a full hold is completely possible for a team who isn't able to focus.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that yesterday, right? It was you and me casting the Watchpoint Gibraltar. It ended, neither team finished on first point. Very fast map, and has the potential to be the exact same here as well. Upyourscrim here. Actually, I think it's reversed, unfortunately. It's actually going to be the blue team is... I gotta double check everything that I say now.
You are losing everything.
It's the sleep deprivation. There we go. Thank you, producers. Everybody, thank the producers. Thank you, everybody. But yeah, Lunar Horizon is the blue team. Upyourscrim is the red team. Lunar Horizon coming out on the monkey ball, on the monkey dive defense. Upyourscrim, they're going with their classic Wrecking Ball.
Definitely not too surprised to see this come out. They're mostly worried about just kind of taking in these pokes, though. Toby's doing an amazing job of already getting some damage, and everybody within inside the small corridor not really able to leave without taking a considerable amount of poke. Look as Dirty Boy goes in, uses that bubble, gets some charge for the Zarya, and then falls out. Ooh. Kaizen almost dies while just falling off top of the high ground. It is a very dangerous scenario where they need to play as carefully as possible. Working as a unit, they're able to just barely, you know, kill Coffee, and I think that's what Scrim are very much prioritizing, but it is still a big problem for Lunar as, well, we see them backed up in the servers, having no ultimates, nothing to stop, especially against this barrage. The Nano is by far the biggest ability they have, but you gotta worry because it's coming out, it's looking for you. They save him for a second, pop it out, manages to finish off the Ana. It is more than enough when Evo comes in, cleans out the Zarya. Though there are 2 alive, you're going down in this slow contesting fight as we just see Scrim continue to move forward, hoping to find another pick, but it seems Lunar are going to stabilize and, you know, work back as a unit.
Yes, Evo, grab the Mega Health Pack. You desperately need it right now. Unfortunately, he's the only one that is able to be contesting the cart right here. They did manage to get a lot of progress going forward, and even more progress potentially as G-Force goes down to the Pharah.
It's not looking too good. Losing that type of healer is not the best. Oh, never mind the high noon. It gets taken out. How do you let that happen? And then Coffee, who builds the rally, isn't even able to use it. The rest of the team on Lunar Horizon, there's just nothing they can do.
They're putting in so much pressure on Kazon here. Not only does he have to deal with the Tracer, not only he has to also deal with the Pharah as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they do some type of switch, maybe to an Ashe or something along those lines, maybe even a soldier, because the Cassidy, okay, no, they're gonna stick onto it, but Tomi gets another pick onto G-Force, and they are just having a field day here.
It's the speed of the cop. Tomi's looking to build up that barrage. The Brigida's able to peel for the Ana. Coffee, she's doing an amazing job, the best that she can when it comes to defending. Luckily, Dirty Boy is able to go inside the back line, finish off the Ana, give them some time to breathe. But Tomi does not have the mercy to help. He ends up dying. The Valk gets used. They have to make something happen, or else that ultimate goes to the sidelines. Unfortunately, though, I do feel this is going to be one big reset as Moon falls.
Yeah, for sure. You need to reset here as well. Finally able to get some value out of the hit scan, and now you're set up in a pretty good position, much better position than what you were set up on first point there. That just got broken by a couple of Pharah rocket shots. Now everybody's kind of out, you know, separated, but it doesn't really matter because Tomi and Iroh both go down really early on. That is another reset.
It was a beautiful 2K, by the way. I just want to point that out. It's absolutely clean. Those Scrim now have 3 ultimates to set up. Moon's already moving on to the point. This gives a lot of room, just seeing how you want to try and take this engagement. You drop the mines, maybe they just fall into it, or you just take out the Ana, which gives you an advantage in this fight. Use the barrage, the Graviton Surge, not really going to be punishing anybody. Unfortunately, they have to use the rally when they are this low. And they have to play inside the small house. Just no defense being possible. Once it gets rolling, it is just not enough. And eventually Kaizen's going to fall after getting the Ana. It's all up to Dirty Boy using this nano with the Tracer's help to melt people down. Eventually Tomi is going to fall very quickly. They're using the Wrecking Ball boost, hopefully to CC people off the point. The res comes out. It's now looking a little bit more favorable, though that bomb does go out. It breaks the bubble, and the High Noon comes and looking to melt down anyone. They are perfectly placed around, playing to just make sure they don't get hit. The Diva overextended, they get punished, and now you have nothing to stop this push, as we see Lunar Horizon just barely manage to save themselves.
Yeah, Dirty Boy coming in clutch with the Primal Rage there, barely managed to build it up with the help of Evo with the Nano as well. And now ultimates on both sides looking very, very similar. Iroh has a potential advantage here with his Valkyrie, but other than that, nothing really here. Forsich just kind of looking, see if anybody is engaging so that they can use this pulse bomb, but Dirty Boy goes down first. Oh, that was a potential C9.
Moon. No, look at that. Moon gets punished, though, trying to go for that C9. Luckily, though, they do manage to find out Cassidy. With this Valk, it may enable a res and put this back into their favor, but the Mercy's having to play dangerously careful. It's all up for the Tracer and this bomb from Hatu to make this space open up, but it seems Habit is having this ability to find you out of position. Now, with this bomb placed, it just makes a little bit more room. There's a Tracer and Diva on the point. That stun gets punished. Look at that. Tomi's not going to be able to use that barrage. Now with the rest of the team slowly contesting back in, they're not really going to be able to protect the Mercy long term, and while you place the mines, it's one big scrap of a mess. Hopefully you can force them off for a split second or two as the Mercy just touches to stay there for as long as possible. Tracer getting the Nano now has a lot of room. The mines, they kill off, and eventually after every piece of ultimate use, after every grain of hair pulled, they're going to be able to pull out second point. But here comes the hard part.
Yeah, you definitely needed every ultimate committed there. You needed to get that clean sweep. Otherwise, you would have just had to keep dealing with the staggering, with the spawn advantage here. And okay, they try to push up a little bit aggressively here with Tomi on the Pharah, taking in pot shots as well. Now G-Force is actually going over to the Sombra here to try to mess with Moon and Habit, who are diving their backline.
Once again, Tomi looking for that pressure. The High Noon managing to catch out the Ana, not in position, no safety as Dirty Boy uses the Primal Rage, goes inside the backline, plays a little bit of hopscotch, then decides, you know, to leave out of energy. That payload still gets moving until Kaizen takes out Tomi. forces the res. This does put us back into a 6v6. And even having the pulse bomb is a big factor, but losing out Moon, the bomb going into the bubble. Dirty Boy gets taken out. Wasn't expecting it. That's not good. You need the monkey for the engagement. However, they don't really need their tank line. Though this beautiful hack. My goodness, that is the prop you're looking for. Even if Tommy's inside your backline with this barrage, all you have to do is be a little bit of an annoyance. And look at that. You're being able to keep your mech up. No, never mind. You have to back out. This is coming into the endings of the fight as the mind plays through in the middle. Moon still being punished. We see Tommy set up for this barrage. The question is, do you invest it or do you wait?
Gets hacked here as well. It's gonna force him to back out as well, but he has that barrage. He needs to use it right now. He's actually gonna try to use it against the Nano Monkey. It gets hacked.
It's just not working well, and yet Tommy's still alive, even got antied, able to find both of the tank line. Even Cassidy gets shut down while the high noon is trying to be used. This is an overtime. Though that res was incredibly lucky, it's just not enough to secure the fight, and we see all points captured for Upyourscrim.
Iroh bringing in the angelic healing with, you know, just Tommy gets hacked as a Pharah and somehow manages to live while being barraged. It's quite honestly a miracle from heaven. And now they managed to complete the map with overtime. That's huge here. If you manage to, that's a win condition set now for Horizon. The bar is set. You have to complete the map now, and it's even better if you try to complete the map with a little bit of time left over, but you have to get all 3 points now.
Man, this is where the anxiety kind of comes out. I always talk about how Overwatch is 1/3 of mentals, and especially in this tier, when you're wanting to make a name, you know, try to just improve your own talent. The collegiate scene, for an example, you know, it's now a really good way to become an Overwatch League pro. I think this is where the nerves start to kick in. You get to see which player is really good at calming themselves down, taking in that initiative. But with it being the same compositions, Rudy, I don't know how much of a change we can really expect.
Well, Evo is going to be not on the Tracer for this round. Instead, they're going to opt in for the Ashe, which gives them obviously a lot more long range. It means they're not going to be playing as divey. It means they're going to be focusing a lot more on peeling for their backline as well, and just having that sustained damage fire at a long range. This might not be something that Lunar Horizon is expecting here as they come out on the traditional dive with a Sombra.
Moon does get pressured out. However, it seems the opposite main tank is going to be punished just for playing the game simply. Dirty Boy not able to survive. They do go in for the poke. However, Dirty Boy already understands you're not going to have enough room to play that monkey, especially against two big damage dealers. Switch over to the Wrecking Ball. And maybe the rest of their team want to go switch. They seem very eager to go to the spawn room. Even Dirty Boy again. Maybe, you know, go on to Brawl. However, I think that's very unlikely.
And you see how much trouble Kazon is having here. He has to set up in a position where he's not seen by the Ashe, but also he can get value out of stunning the Moon on the Wrecking Ball. Moon on the Wrecking Ball. It's a very difficult position to be in.
So much cover is taken by this composition. Dirty Boy doing their best just to touch that point. Look at that. Absolutely melted. The focus fire coming in from Scrim is insane. Dirty Boy, you have to just pay a little more attention, my good friend. Missing out that flash is a big punishment. The Cassidy finally coming into the point, not able to do anything. And even Moon, who's almost getting hacked, is able to break it out, securing this fight and really building more of an economy.
Well, if you have one thing on Lunar Horizon, you do have this EMP, and if you manage to cash it onto the right members, it means that you'll be able to disable a lot of the ultimates that Upyourscrim has built up, and I mean a lot of ultimates. They have 5 ultimates coming up here, but he's being detected right here, and okay, he managed to get 3 of them.
It was a really beautiful EMP too. The problem is that the Nano was still alive, keeping Evo up. Bomb places so Hazu can come back into the fight. Not too much of a worry. It's all about keeping yourselves up. Mines placed on top of the high ground, meaning they have lost some space. And poor Sombra Even the Diva losing the mech as you go back to the spawn room. Luckily, we used bombs, so it's not going to be too much of an issue. But you're not finding any headway. And that was an EMP.
That was an EMP, and not even either of the DPS ultimates committed into that fight either. Now you're going up against a rally as well. Evo has been staggered out here, although Dirty Boy does get a couple of players, and Evo goes down as well, so this could be an advantage coming in for Lunar Horizon with that spawn advantage now. The Upyourscrim is forced to back off just a little bit here, but the mines here might actually catch a bunch of people here.
Well, the mines managed to catch out Iroh. That's absolutely massive. Has to rally, though they do get this copy actually onto the Sombra, looking to build up that EMP. Gets it very quickly, now has to get set up, throws it out. Can they reach? That's a 4-man! How do you land that, Tommy? You're absolutely insane! Look at that, even the Bob now plays, just making some room and space for the rest of the team to come back as Evo takes on this flank. The Ashe not noticing. Unfortunately, though, you don't really have a Mercy Pocket nor a Diva helping you, so you're going to really lose that fight out. Valkyrie invested, though. Iroh returns, use the rally to contest. Nano on to the Diva, keeps them up for a little bit longer, but Evo is hitting shots, and that is absolutely beautiful as Moon goes into the backline looking to take out Dirty Boy. The EMP comes out, but it doesn't take Moon. The one person was more important. Luckily, though, you do manage to find the 5-man, and no one else is going to be able to stop you. Those mines are only a distraction, as you're just not going to be able to stop it. The payload being pushed in, Evo doing their best to just stall. The hack goes on to Moon, and I gotta say, tip of the hats, that's how you bring it back, and this fight is still alive.
Yeah, it was very admirable for them as well, and they're going to get a little bit of staggers, which they desperately need because it took them so long to capture that first point here. Actually, they're going to get a lot of stagger kills onto the retreating members here. If they get one more, they might be able to get like halfway through point B with not too much trouble at all. Alright, that's all going to be up for now, but they do have a lot of ultimates as well, such as the Nano, the Mines, the Bomb. They're actually going to use Mines right away just to try to keep that aggression forward.
It helps more that the hack was able to help take out Moon, and now they have a lot of room to set up while they wait for the Wrecking Ball. Seems Kaizen wants to make that space. 2 counter Bobs, interestingly enough, going after each other, though one is hacked and slept, so
They're both slept.
Well, one's
They're
hacked,
sleeping on
so
the job.
Yeah, well, it's more of Moon sleeping on the job, getting just no room. Look at the counter bomb being thrown at the worst opportunity to where, you know, they get taken out. Now they have to stall themselves onto the point, and it's just not looking well for Upyourscrim as they slowly fall out. They have the copy to contest and stall for as long as they want, especially because the Nano is stacked on, able to land onto the wreck ball. Seems Upyourscrim were planning for this. He does manage to find out too, and the Ana not able to sustain. Iroh using the rally just to keep themselves up. That point has to be contested for every second. Bo, the Mines blocks anybody from entering in. Is this a comeback idea as Lunar Horizon aren't really able to walk out individually and they have to reunify just to enable that res? Moon even builds up to the Mines, though the hack alerts them to it, and they're gonna have a bit of safety. They are no longer engaging in this fight.
The spawn advantage once again comes into play here on second point. They're just able to get back onto point and use all their ultimates to hold on for dear life, and now Moon back with this Mines now as well. Lunar Horizon are just kind of stuck in this little room here. Okay, they will use the Bobs to initiate.
They build that Bob incredibly quick. Oh, look at that! Evo finds out your Ana! That's absolutely dirty, though. The res from Coffee, she does an amazing thing. Brings back the Nano Boost into this fight. Even Dirty Boy's able to disengage, come back. That bomb places down, takes out Kazan. So now you're lacking damage dealer in this overtime scenario. You have to do your best. We see the Mines go on to the point. The Wrecking Balls are still able to kind of converse around, but they've lost the Sombra. Nano goes on to Moon. Now building some sustainability. Ana falling down once more. Iroh may get traded, but there was just nothing left as Coffee, Hazu, they fight the dust, and it just seems Upyourscrim, well, they're going to be able to start scrimming again as they take the victory 3-0. Lunar Horizon just not having that final edge to secure the victory.
Actually, user, you're wrong. They're not going to be scrimming again. They're done scrimming. They're winning matches now. They're winning games, and you know, they might be on their way to winning the entire European expanse. But for this game, certainly they took home the cake and they enjoyed it very much. First map was definitely very, very close between both teams as the momentum shifted back and forth. But for those last two maps, Upyourscrim was just on point. Moon insta-locking the wrecking ball, which is exactly what you need to do in your ranked games. I swear you'll climb, trust me. But yeah, I mean, insta-locking the wrecking ball, feeding at times, but most importantly, he's making space. He's making space for his DPS players, Tommy and Evo on that tracer role where they're getting so much value, and Tommy on the flex picks as well. Insane echo, able to focus down anything that was coming their way. Hats off to Upyourscrim.
Yeah, well, let's get the statistics up because they are something to be paying attention to, and more of it is the divas, Hatsu and Habit, who did not have an equal amount of time on it, and I think it shows. But I just want to point out how really well Hatsu is doing just as a diva. Though playing for 11 minutes and 5 seconds comparatively to 15, you're equal, if not better than Habit, and I think that's not only showing a different play style, but a different understanding of how you're wanting to play that diva. Hatsu still being able to get in that consistent damage. Look at the final blows per 10, 8.1 more than Habit, who has one more roughly over
that
eliminations per 10.
I was about to say that 0.1 really tips this team over the edge, and you know, a lot of people are going to be very scared of that percentage going into the later rounds of next week. But to that point, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, mind you, Hatsu was on Lunar Horizon, so you're consistently going into this back front. You're able to get this much done. I think it's just more of like needing to be enabled. One person cannot carry a team fight, every team fight.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. I get you now. Yeah, no, I got confused there. It's the sleep deprivation. We'll get through it, but I mean that match was very energetic, very well played, and it certainly kept me awake throughout this entire broadcast. So I thank the teams for managing to not bore me to death.
100% agree. Absolutely beautiful fight. But before we kind of get up to the wrap up, I do want to give a little bit of VMPs. I love giving these players some
I haven't
positivity.
Even thought of this.
You haven't even thought of it?
No, I'm sorry. Well, it's just because Upyourscrim, they all played really well.
Well, you listen to me and you tell me who you
think.
So at least for honorary MVP over on the side of Loser Horizon, gotta say Coffee. She did absolutely amazing. She got so many reses and was able to peel for a significant amount of time, being in these fights in the later halves rather than dying very early on, and that's absolutely essential for a support player. But for the MVP, Upyourscrim, I'm gonna have to either, I'm feeling tied for either Moon, absolute massive ball player, was taking these engagements, getting these victories and movements, though they were dying first a lot, it was giving a lot of opportunities. If not, Tommy, absolutely beautiful, was able to get these picks, was able to set up, got a lot of burst damage in. I would say tie for those, a little bbit more on to Moon, just because I think it's very hard for a wrecking ball to get out free in those scenarios. But Rudy, do you somewhat agree?
Yeah, I did. I mean, for sure. I think both of those candidates are very good. I would also like to throw in my special shout out to Iroh, because they're my favorite character from Avatar.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. If we're gonna give a shout out for a random thing, I'll give a shout out to one of Upyourscrim players named Hab, who, and in the information that we were given, just has fighting as further information. But that's just me wanting to have a little fun. Either way, that is pretty much the end of the day. Unfortunately, only one match casted, but so many more being played in the background. Really,
I mean, this is only one. This is only one of 15 matches that are being played today, as well as throughout the entire, I mean, we're still in the very beginning of this tournament here. Like I said yesterday, I'm very excited to see where this event goes. I'm very excited to see some high level European Overwatch.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So if you want to stay up to date, see which teams are winning, see what's going on within the Overwatch expansive tournament, I implore you, to check out not only the Discord so you can stay up to date with everything, not only Elo Hell, but with good uh, European expansiveness or, extension, whatever they truly want to call this. But hey, you can follow the Twitter, which will give you daily updates. The YouTube, which every VOD and content will be posted and updated. The Instagram. There's so much that you can see and check out in the summary. But if you want to see who was behind the productions, especially both me and Rudy, your casters, you can not only check our Twitters down right here, and we'll make sure that you see who produced this match, who was giving you the VODs and everything beyond that. But you'll be able to just stay up to date with everything. Production's absolutely massive, and I implore you just to check out the Twitter so you'll be able to see everyone. But Rudy, do you have any lasting comments?
No, sir, not at all.
All right. Well, at least for me, I hope that you have a fantastic day, and we can't wait to see you next time when it comes to Overwatch EX. We're out.
You made me into a mess. Hands on my dress, neon red. You were everything I didn't need until you left. Now I'm dancing around my living room. I get drunk on the thought of you and I, when you were mine. See your eyes in every stranger. I replay the way that we were till I'm high. No, it's not right. You missing me like you used to, yeah, like you used to. I miss you kissing me like you used to, like only you do. You know the good things are never as good as the bad, and your love is better than anything I've ever had. Oh, I miss you missing me like you used to, yeah, like you used to. I know you're gone, and you probably just forgot me, yeah, you're moving on. But I can't let go, 'cause I'm still sleeping with the moments, lying with your ghost. Now I'm dancing around my living room. I get drunk on the thought of you and you're not mine. But I miss you missing me like you used to, yeah, like you used to. I miss you kissing me like you used to, like only you do. You know the good things are never as good as the bad, and your love is better than anything I've ever had. Oh, I miss you missing me like you used to, yeah, like you used to. Heart over head,